Pros, what's up? My name is Jason and I'm from the Shelf Stories YouTube channel, and I'm here in the Dice Tower today to review Prisma Arena. This one was designed by Rory O'Connor and John Fiore and published by Hub Games. So it is a 2-4 arena combat game with a very cute theme evocative of Pokemon, that type of dueling where it's kind of friendly, with a little bit of mischief, going back and forth, blasting lasers and grappling and all that good stuff. Think a HeroClix type thing, and it does have some progression elements. So after a couple of battles, you get to level up and improve your character. So I'm looking at this one today, but I want to do this as a complimentary review to another one who I think is the intended audience. So Dan and Cora are going to review this game either very shortly after I release this video, or it'll be on the Dice Tower site as you're watching this one. So that's the intended audience, and they have a lot of great points about what in this game is appealing to that. What I want to do is I want to take a look at some complimentary pieces, specifically how adults might engage with this, because you know what, you don't want to just play a kid's game, right? You want to make sure that there's enough meat on the bone for you as an adult gamer. See if there's enough for you to enjoy. There's also a designer variant for solo, which is something that people enjoy. If let's say you can't get your partner to come, you want to be able to just lay down and play the game anyway. That won't be a part of the official review, but I'm just going to review that a little bit because it's still in a little bit of flux. All right, so let's go to the videotape and check out Prisma Arena. All right, so here is Prisma Arena laid out. I have a 2-player game to show you today. The game goes from 2 to 4 if you want to play 4 players and you're playing team versus team. So first thing you'll notice is that each side has 3 characters. So you have a main character that's going to be running around, and you also have their Mokons. Mokons are little emotional creatures. They're like pets, I think. I'm not really sure what they are in the lore. But there you go. There's some examples, and also, they got plenty more in the box to play with. So they're all going to have cards, and they all have their own activations. So let me demonstrate a very, very simple turn. So let's say I'm going to go with Suna. You go back and forth and activate each one, and then when everybody has gone, you set them all back to ready, and you can do it again. So let's say I want to go with Suna. She's right here. She's ready. And I want to execute one of 3 actions. So here's the action token. You can execute on a basic level: move, blast, and strike. So blast I'll do. So like she is in blast range. The ranges are kind of straight lines, either diagonal or straight lines. So nobody else is in diagonal range over here. But I have this guy over here. So I'm just going to be like, pooh, easy enough. And it says the damage right here. I hit him for 2. So I would just put 2 markers on there. Now, and here's where you really get into the guts of the game. So that's not all. I have this deck of combo cards. So the deck is right over there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to match the symbol that's on here with a symbol on a card. I couldn't do it with either of these 2 cards because that's an X and there's an O sitting right there. So let me throw an O down here. That's a weave. It's an extra move. 1, 2, 3, 4. When you normally go in front of characters, they do what they call a grapple, which is you can't move any further. But this one specifically says ignores grappling. So I move into position. So let's say I want it to be there for whatever reason. And now, pow! I am doing a direct strike. So what I have done is I have taken that character who was at full health. I've delivered them 4 hits, and now they are knocked out. So a couple things happen. That's how you score in the game. I did 4 hit points of damage, so my side is going to score 4 points. If it was multiple players, then multiple players would get credit for the points. It'd be like, let's say it was like a green player, so green would get 2 hits, and however many hits they did, and yellow would get 2 hits as well. So everybody kind of shares in the glory of a kill. You don't get killed in this game, you just get bounced. All right, so that is a very simple example of combo chaining, and it gets more and more complicated, or complicated is the bad word, enriching. So here's an innovation. So when you use combo cards and at the end of your turn, you can discard it into your opponent's deck. I'm gonna have a lot more to say about that kind of moving forward. So that's basically, the simple thing. You have your advantage token, that green token over there. That's going to kind of change depending on who goes first. Positional play, so the obstacle, people have to kind of navigate those. Here is the level up sheet. So what the level up sheet is, you keep track of, certain things. So like you get 2 points for just playing the game, and then Mocon stuff, and then if you win, you get some points. Once you get that, you start to level up. So, what leveling up does is it opens up these Prisma cards, and you can go from 1. So you have 4 levels, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you get more access to these more powerful cards. So like the first card, check that out. You blast now with force +1, so it's like I specialize in blasting. Not that exciting, but solid and easy for a child to remember. Then you have level 2, prismatic projection. At the end of your activation, you can use an unused obstacle entirely adjacent to you. So if I use that one, and I'm the main character, now all of a sudden I have another obstacle over there. So they thought they were going to attack me. No way. I'm behind another obstacle now. Deal with that, sucker. So you see, like as you get into it, you can kind of really change the positional flow. And then you have something like this, where let's say they had a third power, Goad. When performing a move, you may choose another character and move them towards you. So like, let's say there's an enemy over here. I put up my wall. Now I can goad. Oh, God. And another player could come in and attack them. So you could see, action, reaction. The basic game is very simple, but then as you introduce more of these power cards, and they're always on, so you're going to be able to get those as you level. You could really change up the tactics and have a lot of fun. The other way you can get this, in a training game, this center crystal won't be there. In progress games, anyone who ends their turn on that crystal can draw from these decks. You would draw 3, pick one you like and discard it. And then as you slowly build your character, now we're going into some of the other things, you will be able to kind of maintain progress from game to game. So you get this thing. It's like a locker room, so to speak. It's a folder that holds all your stuff. And not only that, you can start to customize your characters. You get lots and lots of stickers. You get to make them look like different colors, different loadouts and everything, just to kind of make the character your own from game to game. All right, so that was Prisma Arena at the table. So how I like to break down a game is in terms of its headspace, the headspace that the game puts you in as a gamer, both in terms of the imagination that it inspires while you're at the table, and also in terms of the logic and the strategy and the decisions that the game challenges you to make. So let's start with the thematic headspace first. Thematically, this game is excellent. I can actually say that without reservation, and it's excellent because there's a multiple levels upon which this game is working. 3 in particular that I can think of. The first one is just regular art style, what you are presented with when you first see the game. When you first see it on the shelf over at Walmart or hopefully a local game store where you're buying games. It says Arena, and, you see this little guy over here. You just know that A, it's a cute game that's evocative of Pokemon, and B, like Pokemon, this guy is going to grow. Look at him. He's bursting at the seams. He's ready to rock. So that's what Pokemon does, right? It's cute. It invites you in, but it invites you into a world where the characters grow and the creatures grow, and everything kind of like, build up upon itself over multiple games, which that's exactly what you get in this game. And I think the art style, because it leans so hard into Pokemon without actually copying it, so to speak, puts you in that headspace right away. Very good. Number 2, and this one appeals to me as a psychotherapist. The Mocon, the little like dudes and dudettes who go with the main characters. I have some examples over here. They are kind of styled off of emotions, right? It's not just like, little dudes that are doing their thing. So I'm looking at New Hawk the Jealous, and not only is that called the emotion, there's a little bit of a thematic tie-in. This one will steal combo cards because it likes what you're doing. It likes what you just did with your combo card, so it's gonna it wants to take or see something that you did, so it's gonna take that combo card from you and get it. Or I guess Inu the distracted. So it will make you reshuffle your combo cards because you're like, oh, I was looking over there. Oh my god, what happened to my combo cards? So I really appreciated that. I really appreciated that there's a layer of attention being paid to the fact that the people who are playing this game are at a developmental stage where they're discovering their emotions. And, they're figuring out, okay, I'm getting angry. Is it okay to get angry? There's anger right in the game. And it's like, okay, this is how, you can be angry, but this is how you play it out. This is how you sublimate it into something more creative. I wouldn't say it like leaps off the page. It's not like, you'll get emotions, bang, emotional stuff in your face, but it's there, and an attentive parent can kind of educate off of that. If you so choose, but if you choose to ignore it, then, it's just powers. So that's a nice balance that the game struck in terms of the thematics. And then the last one is kind of the deepest level, which is kind of like the theme that emerges directly from mechanisms. And two things on that one. What emerges from this game is that it's not really like a hardcore dueling game. It is more like being at a dojo of ninja school or martial arts school, where you're having duels and you're trying to make yourself better through the duels, but it's not for blood. It's not for a winner take all or prize fight or anything like that. We're trying to make each other better. So when you knock the other person out, they bounce right back in. They say they get bounced. It's almost like you fell outside the ring, and then you just come back right back in there, and you're good to go. There's no kind of period of having to recharge or wait or anything like that. The other one is when you play those combo cards, you play them into your opponent's discard. That's such a underrated little piece, which tells everybody at the table that the point of this is to be tactical. The point of this is to be smart. The point of it isn't to look in your own personal resources and optimize and max them out, because that is ultra competitive. Like you think about the most ultra competitive types, they're spending a lot of time in themselves, in their resources, of maximizing what's there, and then pow, pow, pow. And that's very satisfying to them. And you would think we're playing an arena game, right? Most arena games do that. This one, has those couple of mechanical layers that's encouraging a little bit more of it's competitive, but it's not like cutthroat competitive, like a martial arts training studio. And I have to say, for what it's doing, it's executed excellently. It may not be the type of vibe that you're looking for in your dueling game, but there's plenty of that. There's plenty of that out there. This one, you could see a lot of my games. I have a lot of cooperative games. It's kind of my favorite. So I definitely appreciated the nod towards competitiveness, but without that kind of like severe edge that a lot of these type of games have to have. Well done. All right, so now let's talk about the strategic headspace that the game puts you in. It is an arena game, and it's simple. Like it's not one of those things. You've played those games before where you have to kind of measure out line of sight, and there's a whole lot of complication. So just in terms of on the board, simple. Positionally, I think that a really advanced gamer would kind of take advantage of that. And what I'll say is, like, when you get the advanced upgrades and you can start kind of shifting around the positional things, teleporting a little bit you're able to kind of like open up a lot of the game, but you kind of need to get to the advanced level in order to get there. There's definitely some meat on the bone there in terms of positional play. So if that's what you look for in your dueling games, progress a little bit into the experience and you can get there. Pretty well. I'm not going to say this is the most tactical game in the world, because of movement. Movement's a little bit limited, and having that one diagonal move, it kind of wonky a little bit. But there's some good positional play, especially as you go in later. The main show, though, the main thing that really gets me excited are these guys, the combo cards. Oh man, I love these things. just that it does so much, right? I mean, you can have turns where just there's not much happening. You kind of move or strike or something like that, but then you build up those combo turns, and it's just wham, 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 and it's like you get that sense of I love it when a plan comes together. I love the sense of elasticity of the turns that you get. So like sometimes you don't have much to do, but sometimes and you let your plans come together, and it's like bam, 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 bam. You've changed the entire position of the field. You felt really clever. Maybe you've kind of like done some discarding and drawing. So you didn't know exactly what you're gonna do, but you like discarded something, you drew something else that is like, wow, okay, I'm gonna do this instead, and it helps you solve problems. It helps you solve, let's say there's some defensive stuff going on, so like you can kind of crack defenses, or there's like some. The other opponent has kind of like done really well positionally. You can kind of break that with proper combo play. The combo cards are absolutely in terms of the question I'm trying to answer, which is are adult gamers going to have a good time with this combo deck in combination with the upgrades. I think there is a lot there. Answering that question, yes, there is meat on the bone. My I wouldn't say a significant hesitation, but I do have a hesitation about in terms of like how much a dueling player is going to like this game. And I think it lies in the idea that you're kind of discarding into the other player's discard pile and that you're always changing the combo cards. I mentioned before that is to reduce competitiveness. The most competitive players draw a wall around themselves, and it's like, okay, I'm going to maximize and optimize my character, and that mitigates competitiveness, but it also might mitigate like attachment. You play a couple of games in this, and I know I have the upgrade, the stickers that you get, and I get my own personal set of abilities, and I have my own, the little like there's a lot that I have of my own, but my moves on the field, I don't feel like are necessarily like my moves because I'm cycling, right? I'm cycling through the moves, and I think that's an underrated part of like what makes the thing mine, right? Like sometimes, like I'm thinking that like you think about a Tekken or Street Fighter, the games that like when you get into that tween, and beyond. And I know that that's the stuff that was popular when I was a kid, and then but obviously, the young people have their own stuff, like the Overwatch, and like you're doing your own loadout, like you're crafting your own character, and that's you can, but not on the field. On the field, you're sharing. And I'm wondering if as the small child, the 9, 10, 11 years old grows up into 13, 14 years old, are they still going to want to play this game, or will they kind of developmentally graduate into something a little bit more aggressive and something that allows them to kind of draw a thicker wall between them and the other player? I don't know. And if you're a dueling player and you don't and you want and you retain that, like I want to go for blood, this is not the game for you. This is a game of teaching. It's a game of kind of like connecting. And I'm not going to say whether that's good or bad. I guess I'm just going to throw up a flag and say, okay, I think it's meant for certain personality types, and I just wanted to kind of flag that. But if this is your personality type, if that's the kind of game that you like, and I think that this game is very well executed. It's very smooth. It's very good. Thematics, the strategy, the decision space, especially as you get into the later cards, all really, really good. So one final quick word on potential solo rules for this game. They're not in the box. They're available, or I think Rory is going to make them available at some point on his website. So this isn't any kind of official rating, but I like to get as much use out of my games as possible. And also, maybe your kid, they really, really love this game and they just can't get enough of it. So maybe they'll want to keep playing and playing. If they can't find a partner, they'll be on their own. Right now, the solo is basically a bot with a priority system. So you kind of take other characters, and it has a simple priority system for movement, and it randomizes combo cards. So it's actually not that much different than playing just two sides, which I know a lot of players don't really want to do. But it's simplified enough where it kind of works. I wouldn't say it's a feature, but I will say it's a good way to learn the game. If you are the person that is showing the game to other people. I'm a huge fan of playing the game solo, any game, in order to kind of evangelize and really get to know the game and hone your teach. what I'll also say, there's a lot of room for innovation in here. Just kind of like reimagine new enemies with new movement rules and new attacking. That I think that the design of the system supports that. So again, unrated. Just some comments on what else is potentially in this box if you were to look to make a purchase. All right, so final thoughts time for the 2 to 4 player game version, at least for Prisma Arena. We're going seal of approval on this one, 7 out of 10. I definitely enjoy this game. I enjoyed my plays. Really enjoyed the thematics of it. And at the end of the day, like I said before, this is the main show, the combo cards. Very clever how they stack and how you can fire off stuff and feel really, really clever. And I hopefully I've articulated what you're getting in terms of that that cooperative competitive space. It's not cutthroat and it doesn't draw that wall around your character that some games might want to do. Maybe you want that. If you want that, then this is not the product for you. But if you want to more of a family friendly product that does deliver some punch, that does I can say deliver punch for to satisfy an adult gamer, especially kind of a young at heart adult gamer, then this is definitely the product for you. All right, so once more, this is Jason. I am from the Shelf Stories YouTube channel. Go ahead and visit that. Shelf like this and storybook, Shelf Stories. Shelf Stories GBL is my Twitter handle. You can go ahead and contact me there as well. So I'll remind you that if you could change your mind, you could change the world. So until next time, later, everybody.